You think you're calm. You read philosophy. You breathe slowly. You keep your voice steady. But there is a moment every single day when your real nervous system exposes you. You lose your keys. Your boss questions your work. A woman you care about goes quiet. And suddenly, your breath shortens, your jaw locks, your chest burns, and the world becomes too loud or too quiet all at once. You call it stress. You call it annoyance. But this is your collapse. A collapse so fast you barely register it. You tell yourself you just need more control. If you plan harder, work harder, say everything perfectly, you'll avoid these moments. Not true. Something you thought was calm was actually tension. Something you thought was strength was actually fear. And until you see that clearly, you will keep snapping, freezing, or shutting down without knowing why. Because the universe gives every man 3 tests: chaos, disagreement, and silence. You cannot avoid them. You cannot cheat them. You can only pass or fail. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to stop collapsing and start responding like a man who rules his internal kingdom from the inside out. It always starts with something small, something stupid, something beneath the threshold where a calm man is supposed to react. You're leaving the house. You pat your pockets. No keys. Your stomach drops. Your pulse jumps. You mutter, "Again?" You kneel beside the couch, checking the same place twice. You open the drawer you already opened. You walk in small frantic circles, not searching, but panicking. Your breath shortens. Your shoulders rise. Your mind races faster than your hands. Then suddenly, you find the keys. Relief hits, but not fully. Your nervous system is already activated. You rush to the car, turn the engine, roll forward, and then a wall of brake lights, traffic, stillness, zero movement. Watch what happens inside your body now. Your jaw tightens. Your grip locks around the wheel. Your foot taps. You replay the morning, blaming yourself, blaming time, blaming luck, anything to avoid the discomfort rising in your chest. But here's the truth. You're not angry at the traffic. You're angry at losing control. Chaos is the first test because it exposes the foundation of your so-called calm. The truth is simple. Your calm only exists when the world behaves. The lost keys, the slow Wi-Fi, the spill, the delay, the plan that shifts. All of it is neutral. None of it is personal. But your ego doesn't believe that. Your ego thinks the universe should reward your effort, your discipline, your good intentions. So when randomness happens, you interpret it as disrespect, as sabotage, as proof that the world is against you. But what you call anger is actually disappointment. The disappointment that life didn't obey your internal script. And here is the hidden cost of failing this test. You exhaust your emotional battery before noon. You burn willpower you need for real challenges. You poison the beginning of your day with the belief that life is hostile. But chaos is not hostile. Chaos is nature. Chaos is physics. Chaos is the world doing what the world does. The problem isn't chaos. The problem is the story you attach to it. Passing the test of chaos doesn't require enlightenment. It requires acceptance, not resignation, not apathy. Acceptance. Acceptance sounds like this. The keys are lost. Traffic is slow. This moment is real, and I am still in command of myself. Acceptance disconnects your emotions from your expectations. Acceptance turns chaos from a trigger into training. A man who accepts reality becomes immovable, not because the world bends to him, but because he stops bending under the world. Chaos isn't personal. But the next test is. The next test comes from another human being, looking you directly in the eye, challenging your voice, your identity, your ego. And most men fail instantly. Picture this moment. You're speaking. You're making a point you actually believe in. Your voice is steady. Your thought is clear. Your frame feels intact. Then someone interrupts. Someone challenges you. Someone laughs at the wrong moment or disagrees with a tone that cuts just slightly too deep. And instantly, your stomach tightens, your breath stops, your mind goes blank and loud at once. You pretend to listen, but inside, you're loading ammunition, replaying the tone, preparing a counterattack, arguing with the voice in your head instead of the person in front of you. This is the moment most men fail. Not because they're wrong, not because they lack logic, but because disagreement threatens something deeper, your identity. You think you're defending your argument, but the truth is harsher. You're defending your sense of worth. Your nervous system reacts as if your existence is being questioned. Your throat tightens, your chest heats, your shoulders rise, your voice sharpens. This is not logic. This is fear. Fear of losing face, fear of seeming small, fear of being invisible. And the moment you feel the need to defend yourself, you've already handed the other person control. They speak, you react. They challenge, you collapse inward. They raise their voice, you raise yours to match. Your nervous system becomes their puppet. Because here's the truth. A man who must defend himself does not trust himself. The awakened man understands something most men never learn. The strongest position in a disagreement is silence. Silence isn't avoidance. It isn't weakness. It isn't retreat. Silence is frame dominance. Silence says, you do not control my tempo. You do not trigger my reactions. I choose when and if I respond. Try it. Someone challenges you. You pause. 3 seconds. You breathe once from your diaphragm. You hold eye contact, calm and steady, and you let their words fall to the floor like a brick. Do not pick it up. Do not justify. Do not correct. Do not explain to fix the energy. Your ego will beg you to speak. Ignore it. Your anxiety will rise. Hold still. Your mind will scramble to defend you. Let it scream silently inside your chest. Watch what happens next. Their energy stumbles. Their certainty wavers. Their tone softens. Your presence expands into the space, because a man who does not react is a man who cannot be controlled. When you finally do speak, if you speak, your words will be slow, precise, unforced. Sometimes a simple, "I heard you," is the most powerful sentence a man can say. Not to win, not to dominate, but to remain sovereign inside himself. Disagreement is not the hardest test. Anyone can hold frame with a stranger. The true collapse happens later, when the world goes quiet, when the noise fades, when there's no opponent to fight but the one you've been avoiding, yourself.
The third test doesn't arrive with chaos. It doesn't come with arguments or raised voices. It slips in quietly, late at night, early morning, or in an empty afternoon. You sit down. The room is calm. Nothing demands you. Life finally hands you a rare moment of peace. And yet, your hand moves toward your phone before you even notice. A twitch, a reflex, a tiny burst of panic disguised as habit. You check messages that aren't there. You scroll through stimulation you don't want. You open apps you don't like, not because you're bored,
but because the silence is too honest. Here's the brutal truth. You don't fear boredom. You fear meeting yourself. In silence, everything you outran catches up. The relationship hanging by a thread, the dreams you keep postponing, the fatigue under your forced calm, the loneliness you won't name, the hollow feeling beneath your distractions. Silence is a mirror, and most men are terrified of their own reflection. So your nervous system panics. Your mind searches for escape. Every second feels like an hour. This isn't lack of discipline or procrastination. This is the test of silence. Can you sit with yourself without reaching for anesthesia? Because the noise you call entertainment is actually a shield between you and truth. Passing this test doesn't require monk-like focus. It requires courage. Sit down. Place your phone across the room. Let the discomfort rise. Let the itch crawl. Let the panic whisper, "This is pointless." You're missing something. Check your phone. Ignore it. Breathe deeper. Let the silence stretch wider. Let the internal storm rage without reacting. And slowly, something shifts. Your chest softens. Your jaw loosens. Your eyes stop searching. Your thoughts lose their claws. A space opens. A quiet you haven't felt in years. A presence ancient and familiar. This presence is you. The real you beneath panic, scrolling, and distraction. When you meet yourself without noise, something fundamental changes. The world loses the power to manipulate you. Because the man who can sit alone is the man who can face anything. He cannot be pressured, rushed, or shaken. Silence becomes strength, not emptiness. But knowing the tests, chaos, disagreement, silence isn't enough. You must see why they break you. The battle isn't outside you. It's inside your nervous system, your expectations, your unhealed patterns. Until you face those inner wars, you will always collapse. Chapter 4 reveals those hidden battles, the forces draining your strength before the world even touches you. You don't fail because life is cruel. You don't collapse because the world is unfair. You fail because the real battles, the ones that drain you, aren't happening outside. They're happening inside your chest, long before life ever reaches you. Every unawakened man is trapped in 3 invisible wars: silent, relentless, and entirely self-inflicted. These wars are the true reason chaos rattles you, disagreement destabilizes you, and silence terrifies you. Let's expose them. 1. The war of control versus reality. You were raised to believe that control means domination. If you plan hard enough, work hard enough, anticipate everything, the universe should cooperate. But real control is not force. Real control is steadiness. Your internal script says, if everything goes according to plan, I'll be okay. But life has never read your script. So when life twists, the keys disappear, the deadline changes, the traffic stalls, the unexpected ruins your timeline. You interpret randomness as disrespect. You're not angry at the event. You're angry at the violation of expectation. Here's the truth most men avoid. Reality is neutral. Your suffering is optional. Reality behaves like weather, unattached, unpredictable, uninterested in your plans. Your pain comes from demanding the world obey you, instead of learning to move with what is. This is why you break in traffic. Not because traffic is painful, but because you refuse to let reality be real. You're fighting physics with the emotions of a child, and there's no version of adulthood where that works. 2. The war of validation versus truth. Every time someone disagrees with you, you don't argue for truth, you argue for approval. Your nervous system scans for threat. Did they like my idea? Did they respect me? Do they approve of me enough that I can relax? This is why you over-explain, why you defend yourself, why you try to win conversations that don't matter. You're not seeking truth. You're seeking permission to exist. Here's the hard reversal. Truth doesn't need applause. Insecurity does. A grounded man speaks cleanly, briefly, without pressure. He doesn't debate to protect his ego. He doesn't justify to calm his anxiety. He doesn't perform to be accepted. He speaks because truth is truth, and truth doesn't require validation. But when your identity depends on being understood, every disagreement feels like rejection, and rejection feels like death. This war exhausts you more than any enemy ever could. 3. The war of stimulation versus peace. This is the war modern men lose every single day. Your mind has been hijacked by stimulation. Dopamine has become your compass. Your nervous system has been trained to depend on noise. So silence feels dangerous. Stillness feels like falling behind. Rest feels like failure. Your body has forgotten what peace feels like. Your system is so overstimulated that calm itself feels foreign. So you chase distraction, scrolling, clicking, swiping. Not because you want stimulation, but because you cannot sit with yourself without it. This isn't weakness. This is withdrawal. The war is not with boredom, not with quiet, not with discomfort. The war is with the part of you still resisting adulthood, resisting responsibility, resisting presence, resisting depth. Stimulation is escape. Peace requires courage. The reveal. Once you see these 3 wars clearly, control versus reality, validation versus truth, stimulation versus peace, you understand why your collapse happens so quickly. Life doesn't break you. Your internal conflicts drain your strength long before life arrives. And once you see the battlefield, you are finally ready for the shift that awakens a man from within. The shift where you stop reacting like a boy and begin responding like a king. That's what the next chapter is about. Passing the 3 tests, chaos, disagreement, and silence, doesn't require perfection. You don't need to be emotionless, flawless, or untouchable. You need something far rarer. A shift from boy psychology to king psychology. A boy reacts. A king responds. Here's how the shift begins. 1. The test of chaos. Radical acceptance. Chaos is inevitable. The lost keys, the broken plan, the delay you didn't expect, the universe refusing to match your timeline. You cannot control reality, but you can control your response to reality. Radical acceptance isn't surrender, it's controlled presence. The moment something goes wrong, say inwardly, "This is the moment, this is the test." That single sentence activates your throne. It cuts through panic. It lifts you out of the boy who demands the world cooperate and into the man who adapts to whatever arrives. Then you breathe, deep, low, steady. You act from clarity, not chaos. You stop fighting what already happened. You stop arguing with physics. You conserve strength for what you can influence. Radical acceptance turns chaos into training. You don't shatter, you sharpen. 2. The test of disagreement, the 3-second pause. Most men collapse the moment their ego is touched. A sharp tone, a challenge, a disagreement that feels too close to home. They defend, explain, perform. Not for truth, but for approval. The awakened man does the opposite. He pauses. 3 seconds, 1 breath, a full reset of the nervous system. Then he asks silently, "Am I defending truth or my ego?" If it's ego, he says nothing. Silence is not weakness. Silence is frame dominance. A king chooses when to respond, if at all. If it's truth, he speaks briefly and cleanly. I heard you. No debate, no justification, no panic. The disagreement dissolves because he isn't feeding it with insecurity. This is masculine authority at its quietest. 3. The test of silence, reclaiming solitude. A man who cannot sit alone cannot lead. Start with 5 minutes. No phone, no noise, no escape. Just breath and presence. At first, your mind will panic. You'll feel the itch to move, check, escape. Stay anyway. Stillness is not discipline. Stillness is sovereignty. Because the moment your nervous system stops resisting, you feel the shift. You are finally home, inside yourself. And a man at home within himself cannot be manipulated by the world. The internal shift. Once you pass the tests, something irreversible happens. You stop fearing chaos. You stop chasing approval. You stop running from silence. You become internally sovereign, a man whose kingdom begins in his own chest. You never needed more control. You needed more composure. Chaos, disagreement, silence. They never disappear. But once you master your nervous system, they become training, sharpening, fuel, and that is the beginning of your internal kingdom. You came into this video believing you needed more control, more discipline, more pressure, more force. But now you see the uncomfortable truth. You never needed more control. You needed more composure. A boy is calm only when life cooperates. A king is calm even in the storm. A boy tightens when chaos hits. A king breathes and adjusts. A boy argues to protect a fragile ego. A king speaks only when truth requires a voice. A boy runs from silence because silence exposes him. A king seeks silence because silence strengthens him. Chaos, disagreement, silence. These were never your enemies. They were your initiation, the doorway into the man you were meant to become. And the moment you stop reacting and start responding, your internal kingdom begins to rise. Not out in the world, not in status, success, admiration, or validation, but in the quiet space behind your ribs, where your breath deepens, your nervous system steadies, and your presence becomes unmistakable. This is the sovereignty every man longs for, the ability to stay himself, even when the world refuses to behave. Now the map is in your hands. You've seen the tests. You've felt the shift. You've taken your first step into your own throne room. So the next time chaos hits, or someone challenges you, or silence stretches long enough to make you twitch, pause, breathe, and say inwardly, "Here is the test." Then pass it. If these words hit something real inside you, take one breath and tap like. It tells the algorithm that men like you still exist. Men who choose depth over distraction, truth over noise, presence over panic. And if you're ready for the next layer, to build the kind of masculine power that shifts a room the moment you walk in, subscribe. Join the men who are waking up. Your kingdom begins now. Click the next video. I'll meet you there.